Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Fuel and Fumes podcast. We are one of the, I'm trying to read here what McGregor put in the notes, the only racing podcast, and then just stop.
I completely forgot my train of thought here.
We are the 121st most popular sports podcast in New Zealand. We will continue to put that over our heads until we break the top 100.
Yeah, until we crack 100, we're just going to keep riding that one. I don't know what else, qualifies us as, a podcast here. Like, what other redeeming qualities do we have? Oh, we made it past 5 weeks. 95% of podcasts don't do that. So huge up to us.
42 weeks. We bring you all the racing news from endurance racing, Formula One, IndyCar, any breaking news, updates, anything racing related. You two degenerate boys are on it.
Yes, of course. And I am Mac. That is Spencer on the other side of the camera. And yeah, we're going to drop some bombs, some great. Actually, it's been a bit of a slow news week, but we haven't been here to talk in a little bit. So it might just be a bit of a catch up episode because we really haven't done that. We've been slammed with IndyCar and, having guests on the podcast and things like that. So it could just be a bit of an update and a little bit of a preview of what's to come in racing this week.
Ketchup and mustard is foreshadowing for this weekend because me and McGregor are going camping.
Yes. And we're going to have hot dogs over to the campfire, little spider dogs. You ever rip those, Spence?
I've actually never eaten one. I've seen one, but I've never eaten one.
Well, you, sir, are in for a treat. I know you're not a big hot dog guy, but we'll get it going.
Yeah, I can just bend over and close my eyes and I can be a hot dog guy. Doesn't take me too much convincing.
More of a bun guy yourself, eh?
Yeah, more of a bun guy for sure.
More of a bun guy. Before we get any further into this episode, we can proudly say that this episode is fueled by C4 Energy. Remember to use code FUMES, that is FUMES, for 20% off at checkout.
If you guys don't realize, that spells fumes, which is one of the main words in, of course, our name being the Fuel and Fumes.
It's 33.3% of them if you're counting "and" as a word. Sometimes people don't count it.
I would count it as a word.
I'm giving it a count, yeah. Week 42, Jackie Robinson week.
Thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, thank you, Jackie. Did some good shit, man.
And here comes Jackie.
Yeah, this episode's gonna have nothing to do with Jackie Robinson.
We could get racial. It just depends on how you want to get there.
It's okay. I'll pass.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, keep this a non-racial podcast, but
I guess it is Pride Month too, so we got to keep it on the low.
We got to keep it inclusive.
Inclusive, yes, it's true.
So
Motorsports is for all.
Everybody to our podcast. Sorry, I'm just getting a text from Carson after my sign fell, saying you good.
Yes, that's because McGregor, just before we hopped onto the call, we actually were on the call. We just weren't recording. His Fuel and Fume sign had fell down very dramatically, actually. I wish we were recording because it came down like a hot pile of bricks.
It's like we're living in New York when that crane fell on those streets and crushed a bunch of buildings and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Or that bridge in Baltimore.
Yeah. That bridge, that shit fell, man. That's just it.
It just fell. It's just like your sign.
Yeah. Are we saying inside job or no?
No, I don't know. I think the group of people in Baltimore probably couldn't try to take it down if they wanted to.
No,
so
but
I think it was purely accidental.
Yeah, like that's just, captain asleep at the wheel.
Yeah, I don't think even if you rallied 100 local Baltimoreans that they couldn't take that down.
Baltimore. Yeah, I think you're right. I think the collective effort is not there. I don't know if
really not.
Yeah.
Like I would put 100. I take that back. I would put 50 homeless people in San Francisco up against 100 homeless Baltimore.
Yeah. Okay, but the homeless are a resourceful bunch. They're if like, how they go on their missions, right? Like, hey, we're gonna steal catalytic converters today, or hey, we're gonna empty out all these bottles of water and return them so we get money back. They'll if that was on the quest list, they're taking that bridge down bit by bit.
Yeah, they do a lot of good collaborative work. Like if we just were able to show those skills to students, we would be in some incredible progress.
Yeah, like if we had the right setup, they could have built the pyramids.
Yeah, I think they could also. How many homeless people do you think it'd take to function a Formula One team. You know what? Scrap Formula One team. Let's just say a basic like Trans Am car. How many homeless people do you think it'd take to put it together to get an actual functioning racing team? And I'm talking like points collecting every odd
Points
race.
collecting every odd race. Is it a homeless person driving?
For the sake of this scenario, yeah, I'll probably give it to the
Okay.
homeless
So we
person
got a
race team.
driver, one guy to change all 4 tires.
One guy, nah. Put 2 homeless people on it for sure.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah, we'll
okay.
give
No,
them
no, no.
one lug nut. Like,
One yeah, one jackman
yeah,
because they can just pick the car up.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, and then you might need a crew chief. So we're at 5.
Let's give him an executive too.
Yeah,
Make it 6.
yeah.
And
That's
then
it. Oh, maybe
you need operations. So you're
yeah,
at 7.
hospitality.
Yeah, you're at
I
8.
think they'd have a good hospitality.
Let's put someone on social media marketing. Let's give a homeless person a BlackBerry phone. Put them at 9.
Yep. Give them the camera of a DSi.
Yep, you're at
And
10. Let's make it 11, 12. I think we might be able to squeeze it with 10 if I'm being honest.
yeah, I think 10, and not only that, but this team is flying well under the cost cap.
Yes.
Like well under. Like
Extremely efficient in the cap.
minimum wage, yeah, just
I don't even think I bet we could pay them like
universal basic income.
yeah, no, not even that. I think we could pay them like a 10 an hour, dude. Like I think we can get away with this.
Yeah. Oh, there is a dog.
That is not your dog.
No, it's not mine, but mine is looking real pissed off right now.
What if you
He's
heard that in the middle of the night? What if it's one of the homeless people asking to audition for the
yeah,
team?
they heard there's a job opportunity, and yeah,
Mhm.
they're here for it, man. They're
How much gasoline do you think that they would be able to steal to be efficient every race? Like to siphon?
yeah, like they're not doing Scott Dixon fuel saves. Like
No.
they're getting the required amount of gas, maybe half a tank more
Oh
than
yeah,
they
like
would
they're
need.
filling up. Like they're siphoning any type
Yeah,
of fuel they can. And it's not even like regular fuel. I'm talking like
like
91,
yeah,
92. Yeah.
91. Yeah, that unleaded primo gasolina.
I think they could do a pretty good job. Yes, let's just say 10. Well, I'll put 12 even just to make them points getting. Yeah, we'll give 12
Yeah,
homeless people to run a
12.
racing team.
Yeah, just I think that's good. Watch out, like Richard Childress, Stuart Haas. Your ass is grass, buddy.
Grass is grass.
They actually are. I think their team is folding. But that's NASCAR. I don't fuck with that.
Anyways, McGregor, we have lots of news to get into. And by that, I mean that very sarcastically because we actually don't. However, we have lots of stuff to talk about, which we haven't because we've had some interviews. So go
Yeah.
ahead and give me the first news story of the week.
Formula One has released a preview of their new technical regulations, and I'm hyped. I'm ecstatic about this. All the complaints about the cars being too wide and too heavy and not nimble enough, they're gone. We're getting new designs to create smaller, more nimble cars that promote racing and overtaking, and hopefully more wheel-to-wheel racing. So yeah, the cars will now be 10 centimeters more narrow, shrinking their width from 2 meters wide down to 190 centimeters, which doesn't seem like a lot, but 10 centimeters in a race, that's huge.
Not a lot in the
If you can
bedroom,
get
but yeah.
if you can get 5 centimeters closer to the wall in Monaco,
Yeah, I was gonna say this is
that's
just
time.
massive for Monaco to me. When I
Yeah.
read these regulations, it's just for Monaco itself. It's crazy to see the size changes. Even we're talking today about from 2013 to now, just over a decade later, how big these cars have gotten and unnecessarily large.
Yeah, like our coworker was saying that they have the same footprint as a Cadillac Escalade.
How does that make any sense? Why?
I don't know. That's absolutely mental. How do they fit into that box? I mean, the one that we got is just massive.
Oh yeah,
It's
it's a big boy.
it's bigger than the
Also,
last.
well, you know what? Throw it in right here. Feels organic. We have a brand new show car at
Yeah.
the Racing Hall of Fame collection, which is our beautiful, beautiful second sponsor of the podcast. The Hall of Fame collection has just gotten a brand new 2016 Jensen Button race used McLaren car. It is incredible. It is the same livery that he wore on the car just before his last race. Technically, he did race last in 16, even though he did appear in Monaco for 17. They don't
Mhm.
count that as his last race. They count it as his
As it
last
should
season,
be.
as the full 2016 season. That show car, which is a full race used car, is now available at HOFcollection.com. So head there if you're looking
Yeah.
and in the market for full show cars.
HOF collection, baby. Lock it in. Come see us. That'd be cool if we had a Fuel and Fumes listener show up.
We'll throw a sticker on the side of the car. You buy the car.
Yeah. Yeah, we will. We can throw maybe a sign too.
I haven't been authorized for that, but operation says fine.
Head of operations here.
Yeah.
Signed off by Mac. So back to the cars. Their weight is being reduced by 30 kilometers.
30 kilometers. Holy shit. Where'd you pull that out of your ass?
Kilograms. 30 kilograms, which that's quite a few kilograms. Downforce is being lessened by 30% and drag is being reduced by 55% to improve efficiency and handling.
This is an interesting one to me. You can go ahead and rip it off, but I just wanted to say that before you get into it.
Yeah. So the new overtaking system, say goodbye to DRS. It is being replaced with a push-to-pass system that provides, like battery burst power to help with overtakes, which is what we've had in IndyCar for quite a few years now, right?
Quite a few years we've had push to pass, and I think it's a little interesting. I don't know if this is them seeing the series in IndyCar do something a little differently. I don't know if this is them seeing how push to pass works and them suggesting that this might work better in their own series.
Yeah.
I don't know if this has to do with the new spec on the cars that push to pass might work better than DRS. I truly do not know why they're moving away from it. I don't think it's a massive change or something to highlight, but I do think it's interesting to note.
Well, DRS was never supposed to be like a permanent fix for F1 because it was introduced to help with passing on straights. But unfortunately, as a byproduct, we now have things called DRS trains, where 3 cars will go together for the entire race. And they might swap positions, but the next person gets DRS. So that will break up some of it by only having, if they're following IndyCar, 200 seconds of push to pass in a race. Allowing for, bursts on straights or to help with direct overtakes. But this will reduce the amount of, cars that are really getting stuck in these trains, hopefully. So,
or deduce rather.
Deduce.
Deduce. Nice.
Yeah, baby. The other cool thing that is helping with overtaking is active aero, which is being introduced to allow drivers to switch between a standard high downforce configuration, so basically just stock car running, called Z mode, and a low downforce mode called X mode, which looks like DRS, where the rear wing opens, but there's also a front wing that's going to be opening now. So all those cool fins are just going to pop open and allow for a lot more air to pass over the car. I'm not sure if this is going to be used at the same like DRS detection points and DRS zones, but it's interesting. It's technologically advanced.
I'm excited to kind of see the animation to come out for this because I'm kind of in my head trying to figure out exactly what this may look like. But my tiny pea-sized brain cannot really understand exactly what's going on here. But I want to see the animation, and then I will give a
I think it's already on YouTube. They released a little teaser video for it. And yeah, it's kind of sick.
I'll give it a look after.
Like the new livery that they have as kind of like their show car just looks like out of the corner of my eye, like a Rothman or like the Rothman's logo, like the Porsche 911 Dakar, same kind of color spec. I love it. It's so nice. But yeah, and the cars look way more fun, less futuristic, a little bit more fun. So, fun.
Michael J. Fox fun.
What does that entail?
Back to the Future. Oh, this is actually I forgot about this. This was probably from like 5 weeks ago. When Shadow Cozy told me that Steven Stamkos did not break his I said he broke his
femur
and it was his tibia.
Yeah.
So there's another fact check. So now I'm 2 for 2 on the podcast for spreading misinformation, but I'm here to collect myself and bring it back.
We'll bring it back. And shout out Cozy for always listening. Good guy. Really good guy.
Horrible better. Terrible. Probably one of the worst betters I've ever seen. He's a
shotgun better for sure.
Yeah, shotgun as in not a slug, as in just like burst fire.
Bird shot.
Yeah, just straight bird shot. Yeah,
it's like trying to kill a person with it from 500 yards out, not hitting shit.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want to break into his house if he had a shotgun dark at night, though. He'd probably
no. Nighttime shotgun, close quarters. You're painting your house a new color. Not good.
Yeah, especially with
Not
Cozy
good.
too. I bet Cozy after a few of those whiskey bunches, probably getting
Yeah.
somebody. Definitely getting like a solid arm or two. Like you're not leaving there unscathed.
No. No,
No,
you definitely aren't. Absolutely not.
no, not a doubt.
Yeah, definitely not. Spencer, we don't have any Formula 1 or IndyCar this weekend.
What I can say is last weekend we had an interview, so we didn't even get into Monaco at all. I don't think we did. Did we? Did we
We
get
didn't get
into
into
Monaco?
Monaco. We didn't get it. Like, we didn't get before or after Monaco. Um,
We can chat about Monaco just very briefly.
very briefly,
Yeah,
didn't
because
watch it.
no, you didn't watch it. I went back and rewatched the whole thing.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I
Shit,
did my
man.
due diligence. I did watch the race.
Good
We can also talk about
podcaster.
Montreal too, so we can be quick.
We can, yeah. Monaco, I will say, the cars are too big.
Too big.
This
Too
is
big.
just like,
You're fitting the slow school buses down the Monaco stretch. It doesn't work.
yeah.
It's a small, short school bus, but it just don't work.
And if the top 10 is finishing in the exact same order that they started in, something is wrong.
We have a
Um,
problem.
we've I love the fact that it's a little challenge for everybody, but it's too challenging.
It's too big. The cars are simply
Yeah,
like the logistics of the car size is too big. If they want to keep Monaco, which we all would like, I know people
yeah,
complain about it and
I
say
love
that it's a boring
Monaco.
race. It's a historical race. It is one of the triple crowns of motorsports. You cannot remove it. It's not how that works.
Yeah,
However, if you want to keep it, you got to make the cars much smaller than they already did. 10 centimeters is not enough. She tells me that all the time. You need to make it smaller. It
tense.
is
Whoa.
yeah. No, not in my case. But you do need to make it smaller. This is a massive, massive problem. The
Yeah,
cars are just too big for the streets of Monaco. If you
just
want to
that
keep it,
simply
make
put,
them smaller.
or make the streets wider. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
Just
You
had to.
could. You could get those homeless people and get them a dozer and just start pushing things
They
in.
actually have zero in Monaco. I think they shipped them all out to France.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just saying. Um, yeah, you can't get rid of Monaco. It's too good. But you know what else was too good? Montreal. That
Mhm.
was hands down the best race of the season so far.
You're just gonna skip past Charles Leclerc home victory, his
Oh
maiden
yeah.
victory at home.
I
Yeah, you
didn't.
just don't care.
Yeah. You can take that one away if you want.
No, I'll just take it quick. He broke the curse, which is great.
Yep.
I kind of said that this would be very good, or this would be his chance to do and successfully capture his win because
Yeah.
as we've said, and we will continue to say, Max is having massive problems with turning. We will see this very quickly on the Spanish Grand Prix. We will see it in Hungary. It's gonna get dicey
Yeah.
because these tracks are not meant for that car. We even saw this weekend in Montreal, our home Grand Prix. You almost saw Max lose this race if Checo ended up actually having to pull out a yellow flag and cause a safety car. Norris had the pace. We all pretty much 90% are sure that Norris would have taken that win
Yeah.
if Red Bull did not make the right call, and they did. They made Perez come in rather than cause a safety car and allows Max to go out there and win. But we are going to have a legitimate constructors championship battle just because Perez fucking sucks.
Yeah. He is impersonating a Formula One driver right now. He is just he's all show, man. Like, he has nothing going on right now. Hasn't had a good weekend in, I don't even know when the last time he, actually did decently.
The latter
Uh,
half of the season, he was okay, but
like
even
the very end of last season, right?
but
He
even
kind of
then, like
showed
there,
back up, but before then it was, yeah, nothing was like, he was just in a lull. Everyone thought he was losing his seat. Um,
he
I'm
he
s-
looked he looked good last season. It like the beginning of the season, he
yeah,
won.
yeah. He collected
He
two
collected. It
wins.
was two. I'm pretty sure it was two wins. He won
Yeah,
Saudi Arabia. I'm almost certain. He was wherever there's no human rights. Sergio Perez does the
yeah.
best.
He locks in.
He locks in the moment that he figures out that human rights do not exist in a country. The guy is just dial on the streets of the public hanging. So he
Hmm.
ended up capturing Saudi Arabia last year, and he also captured Azerbaijan, and then
Azerbaijan.
that was the end of it. He basically then just he collected a podium in Las Vegas. In Abu Dhabi, he came fourth. And then he pulled off this year. Bahrain, he did a second. Saudi Arabia did second. Australia did fifth. Japan did second. China did third. And the past 4 races, the guy is just losing his mind. Miami comes fourth. In Imola, he ends up coming. Oh, pardon me, not Imola. It was the. I'm the worst for the 2 Italian Grand Prix. He came 8th. Montreal, he did not finish, and Monaco, he did not finish.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's
I
2
had to
DNFs in
rip
a
those
row.
off just for people to realize
Yeah.
how bad his past 4 races have been. And if he can't pull it together, we will see a legitimate constructors battle, because right now it is tighter than most people think. I don't think anyone's going to get near Max when it comes to the Drivers' Championship. However, the overall constructors right now, it is a lot tighter than most people think. Red Bull right now sitting at 301 points, Ferrari sitting at 252 points, McLaren sitting at 212 points, and that's basically the it for the constructors. But
Yeah.
McLaren continues; they're both drivers collect consistent points. Ferrari just had a bad shite weekend
That was a
after capturing a victory
rough
in
go.
Monaco. Yeah, it was a rough go. I don't know exactly what went wrong. I don't know how both their units go down, but
Yeah, we kinda got treated to a little bit of a Ferrari masterclass there with, them putting on the hards. There was a gamble there, absolutely. I saw it kind of like there's two fork in the road, you know, it goes one way, they look like heroes, it goes the other way,
mhm.
they look like shite, and, guess which way it went?
Not good. Not
Not
good.
good, not good indeed. Um, yeah, it's just it's tough, but it's okay. It's one bad, double DNF, but we'll be back. Ferrari will be back.
Yeah, I to wrap it up, I just would like to see McLaren probably end up coming. It'll end up finishing third. I'd like to try to see if they'll battle for second in the drivers' championship.
Yeah,
I
I
would
like
really, I would really like to see that. If Perez continues to just shite the bed, we're gonna have a big issue. But other than
yeah,
that, it's business as usual. And yeah, the Spanish Grand Prix will be an interesting one for sure.
yeah, and they removed the chicane last year, right? So kind of treated to a little bit different of a track, longer straights, so maybe hopefully a little bit better passing. But who knows what we're gonna see
Not us until we get to
till
the
we're there.
Spaniards home. We are just sitting and waiting.
Yeah, a lot of big Fernando Alonso home race guy.
Big Fernando Alonso home race guy.
Yeah, but for this weekend, the only thing that we have to really scratch our racing itch is Le Mans. It is Le Mans time. One of the most prestigious and longest running races in the world. One of the 3 jewels in the Triple Crown of motorsports. It's awesome.
I'm so excited because I figured out that I will actually be able to get a watch it Sunday, even though
Yeah.
it's Father's Day. I'm gonna make my dad sit down and watch it because he won't care.
No, exactly.
Let's go.
Hopefully Spencer and I are not going to be doing what we did last year for I forget what race it was. Remember when we were camping and we had I think my work
Imola
phone
Grand Prix.
on a stick.
Imola Grand Prix.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, so we've got Le Mans, and I've never really actually watched it, to be honest. But it's going to be great this year. There's so many massive drivers. Um, you know, we've got Ferrari hot. They won last year with Antonio Giovinazzi and the other 2 fellas.
I knew it was coming out. Whoever
Yeah,
the other 2 guys are.
whoever that. Yeah, we do not know. But you could find out on their website.
Thank you very much, McGregor, for all the informed details.
No, but we do have some other popular drivers to watch out for include Scott Dixon, Alex Palou, Roman Grosjean, Mick Schumacher, Jenson Button, Antonio Giovinazzi, Stoffel Van Dorn, Nolan Siegel.
Wow.
Insane. They're just sticking him in any vehicle they want to on any given weekend. Valentino Rossi and many others. This really doesn't include any legends of GT racing. But everybody's here, man. It is.
I'm going to tell you what you're going to want to watch. And we're with our girlfriends and going camping and the boys too this weekend. We won't really be able to get anything in Saturday, but guess what? Saturday doesn't even matter Because what you really care about is that last 3 hours, which is some of the most exciting racing you will see.
Yep.
Honest to God, it is something. Le Mans is such a mechanical and engineering and strategy oriented race that it brings an atmosphere like no other race. Just to sit there and watch the last 3 hours unfold is something incredible, and the cars being close at finishes in every class is just it's something that you'll really enjoy as a race fan.
Yeah. And it's cool too because this one is 24 hours, but it's not based on running time or how quickly they can do the 24 hours. Essentially, it is based on distance. So it's all about laps completed, total race distance. And another cool fact, so they will cover around 5,000 kilometers. Sometimes there's been teams that go well over, there's been well under, which this is 6 times longer than the length of the Indy 500 and 18 times longer than a Formula One Grand Prix, all racing flat out. And that's just insane.
Where did you find that stat?
Wikipedia.
I was gonna say that's incredible. I was like, did you just sit there and actually just do the math? Because I'd be like incredibly impressed.
If it was my math, I would not be saying it on the podcast.
That's true. That's true. That's fair enough.
That's just it, man. So
It
yeah,
being 6 times as long as Indy is actually
it's
bonkers when you
bonkers.
actually watch Indy and see it in person, how long the actual race is.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
And it's cool too because I mean it's centered around Le Mans, France, right?
Yep.
Indianapolis is centered around Indianapolis. It's the same thing, but the European mind is going a little bit harder than Indy, just trying to go even longer because their car manufacturers are trying for efficiency and stuff. Where the Americans are, they're just like, oh, let's throw out the car. It's all good. That's
So
just it.
the time for this that I'm finding is the 24-hour Le Mans begins at 10 Eastern time. Now I'm assuming this is AM, and it'll run for 24 hours, of course, before the checkered flag drops at 4 o'clock PM. So how does this make any sense?
I don't think there's any intermission, so
Yeah. All right. Well,
we will find out.
we will. We truly will find out. But yeah, if you haven't watched the race, watch the race. It's an incredible, incredible race. Like I said, you don't got to watch the whole 24 hours. I will not be, but you can
Watch the
watch.
start and the finish, and maybe tune in for a little bit of the nighttime.
It's a cool. It's a historical race, and I don't just like it for the historical element of it. I think just as a race in general, the last 2 hours, 3 hours is some incredible racing. So give it a watch.
Yeah. Um.
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 We want to wish our friend Kyle Milot a fantastic and good run. They qualified
Yep.
P8 today.
Oh, they already did qualifying.
Yeah, they
Oh,
qualified
sweet.
P8 today. So, wishing the Joda team a good luck,
Yep.
and we're hoping the boys pull something off crazy. We'll be watching.
That would be absolutely mega. Um, yeah, I mean the team is talented. They've got a win, and a second and a third this year. So
Boys looking good.
boys are looking good, and it's all the same competition more or less. A couple extra drivers, but I'm not sure how well IndyCar translates, or in some cases Formula One, as or Formula E. Even there's Nick DeVries racing for Toyota Gazoo, who
Kazoo.
that team has won five 5 years in a row prior to Ferrari's victory last year,
Wow.
and that included a regulation change. So the boys seem to know what's up.
The boys are
So
dialed.
yeah, have a look for those guys too.
Other than that, we truly don't have too much going on here at the pod. McGregor,
Yeah,
I can go through some race betting lines because I would love to do a quick little recap. Yeah,
go
go ahead. You're
go
good.
nuts, dude. Go nuts.
Yeah. So we've been, I do have to say, this has probably been, and my girlfriend will hate me saying this, but this has probably been my best stretch of a month and a bit, specifically for racing. The gambling has been on fire. I'm going to do a recap this week before we leave. I'll actually probably do it tonight
Yeah,
before we head out for camping because we've been dialed and we need a betting sponsor. Listen, BetMGM, the score, whatever betting sponsor, stake, listen, we are here to hop on the gambling train. Nobody bets Formula One. Nobody bets IndyCar. Nobody really bets at all for racing. And guess what? Not only do we bet here on the Formula One and IndyCar and endurance racing, whatever we can here on the racing pod of Fuel and Fumes, we are incredible. And let me tell you, the past
Oh, yeah.
week, past month, we've been dialed. So we're going to go quickly just over some highlights of every public post that I posted that I've recommended for everyone to bet. And if you haven't already, you can check out our social medias at Fuel and Fumes. We are everywhere. We post publicly almost every day. We are live. We are active. So the first bet we put out was for Alex Below to win the Indianapolis Grand Prix at 3-1. He went out and did that. We were at that race. That was a fantastic race.
Did exactly that.
Did exactly that, and in great fashion. I had Christian Lundgaard as the second, and he did end up being very competitive, thinking that he was going to win that race. But Alex Below comes back on top. Me and McGregor then left and then came back to Indianapolis for his first 500. And what a 500. Truly, probably the best 500 I've ever been to. I have been to 3, and that was by far the best one I've been to. Competitively, 40 laps, no caution, straight racing. You just can't complain. However, we had probably one of my best bets of the year, realistically, when I look back at it. I ended up betting Joseph Newgarden at 9-1 before qualifying because I knew that he was going to be fast. I thought he could go back to back. Last year, I kind of thought Newgarden had the possibility of winning, but I allowed my emotions to get the best of me. And since I dislike Joseph Newgarden, I did not choose him. And this year, I did not make that mistake. So we bet Joseph Newgarden at 9-1, and we put a good little bit
A
of
good heap.
a good heap of change on this, and he comes out to win at 9-1, which was absolutely fantastic. Cannot complain.
Absolutely electric.
And I thought my heater was done. I thought that I had a great month. I thought that I was done, but I was not. I was not done. I was just simply almost getting started as this weekend rolled around, and of course we had the qualifying for the Montreal Grand Prix. And it was, I expected a little bit of wet. It actually didn't end up raining, which was actually great. But I knew the Mercedes were fast. I saw all weekend that George Russell was in the mix. I actually, if I'm being honest, I thought that Hamilton was going to pull. I saw his odds, though, and I spit at them. They were 4-1 when I went to go bet who was going to qualify fastest and collect pole. Yeah, at Hamilton at being 4-1, I spit at that. And what I liked was George Russell. He was 23-1 to go out there and pull. And that he did. Max Verstappen tied his pole, but Georgie did it first. So George gets it. So hit that at 23-1. Let me tell you, this is going to be a fantastic year of betting for Formula One. You got to listen to the pod. We talk about the picks on the pod, but you don't have to listen to us ramble. All you got to do is head on to our social media. I post all my picks publicly. I don't post them, just the ones that hit. I post the ones that lose, but we've been so good that I have not lost one since I bet Norris to win the. What did I bet him to win? Oh, the Italian Grand Prix.
Imola.
Imola. I bet him to win Imola, and which was very close. So we've been fantastic. So we'll do a recap this week, but I do think that it's very possible that Norris has a very good race, if not win it for the Spanish Grand Prix. And I know that the sports book believe that he's going to win because right now he is plus 450, which is almost say 4.5-1.
Wow.
It is 4.5-1. It's usually when the lines the past year for Formula One to come out for winners, Max is usually a minus 500 or even a minus 700, meaning you'd have to put $700 down to win $100. Right now, Max is only a minus 200. So I definitely, the sport books know they have Lando at plus 450 and they have Charles Leclerc at plus 700. So yeah, they definitely know that Max does not have the pace at this track. They understand what's going on here. And I truly do think that Lando's going to probably take this win.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty close. The track setup, it's kind of anyone's shot right now.
Mm-hmm.
Spain's kind of a mid to high speed flowing circuit. You've got a couple funny bits in there, but yeah, you know what? This could be Ferrari. This could be McLaren. McLaren's really ironed out their game, so that's why I'm thinking them as well. But yeah, I don't think Red Bull is going to be as guaranteed as they are as they have been last season. Um, but yeah, I think Lando's a good bet with odds like that, and yeah, just lock it in, baby.
What I do have to say too is in my gut, in my feeling is that Oscar Piastri will collect his first win this year. I think it's very possible. I think that it's
Yeah,
probably going to happen. I think that, excuse me, I think that if Red Bull continues to not be on this pedestal or podium rather of Formula One, I do think that McLaren can be competitive and allow Oscar to collect that win. And if they can get Oscar and Lando to have maiden wins in the same year, it'll be incredible. So I do think it's very possible. So keep an eye out on that too because Oscar's fast.
yeah, Oscar's quick, and if they're playing the team game, there's no telling what they can do. Nobody else is really sticking together like the McLarens have, especially, Red Bull. Perez is off doing whatever he wants down in the lower pecking order positions. And Ferrari, they've been up there, but it's been Ferrari. Like, that's just it. You can't really rely on them for teamwork as of yet. Mercedes, even they could have towed who was it, George and Lewis. They could have tied or towed each other all weekend long
Mhm.
in the closing stages of that Canadian Grand Prix, but that just did not happen. So yeah, I think McLaren, Oscar Piastri, get it going, get it fired up. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, let's get it fired. It's unfortunate that if you didn't do this already, these odds are unfortunately all gone. I posted a video this was probably about at the beginning of the season. I posted it when I had went over all of my betting recaps and exactly what I'm picking for this year. And I don't know if a lot of people actually tagged it, which is fine. I was just looking out for the people. However, there is a lot of bets that are looking right in the correct direction rather for the season end. So as we approach, we're almost midway through the season. We're very close.
Almost.
We're a few races there. However, we do. I had ended up betting Lewis to not win two races. So the line for him over and under was 1.5, and I hammered the under. And that was at plus money. That was at plus 110. You could have bet that.
Hammered.
And it was hammered, truly. I think that was an easy one. I did not see him being competitive, and he is not being competitive. So that is looking on the right trajectory. I also bet Lando Norris to come second in the Drivers' Championship. Of course, we all thought Max was going to win. It was second or better. And I bet that at nearly 7.5 to 1. That was bet at. I did not think Charles was going to come second. It's close. It'll be close, but the Ferrari reliability I don't love. So I bet that pretty easily, and I'm still happy with that pick. And my best one that I do think will end up coming true is Sergio Perez to not win a race at 8 to 1. He's not a man on a mission. He's a man on the back burner, and I do
Yeah.
not see him collecting. Really, he could collect a podium, but a win at this point is nearly not impossible for him. But everything will have to go right, and I think that there's too many competitive cars in the grid now. I think last year allowed him to collect wins because the car was so competitive or above and beyond
Yeah.
other cars. But
Almost untouchable.
since he's not there now, and he's just not driving like that, I just do not see something like that happening.
Yeah, he's gonna need a miracle for something like that to really come through. Yeah, especially with the form he's been showing and the car not being as insanely dominant and
Mhm,
just so much traffic when you think of all the other competitive drivers out that could be fighting for wins because we're seeing so many more this year.
mhm.
So yeah, I think Sergio Perez not win a race, lock it, and you
Yeah,
should have, and you should have,
and you
you
should
should have
have,
listened.
because we post all our bets publicly again at Fuel and Fumes, all our socials. Instagram is our main one, but we post everywhere. So yeah, if you're looking to earn some cash, again, this is not financial advice. This is just that
No,
if you have disposable funds and you enjoy gambling, like me, yeah, sports betting is where it's at, and you just gotta follow to hit that mark.
yep.
Simple as that.
Exactly. And
McGregor, you
lock
got
it
anything
in.
else?
I've
Because
got nothing else, man. It has been a low racing week. Glad to hear Isle of Man TT finished up. Nobody died. That's a
that's
big
great.
win.
Yeah. For the people that don't know, Isle of Man TT is this ridiculous motorcycle, two-wheel, and they do sidecars too.
Yep.
Basically they rip around the streets of is it they're
The
not in
Isle
the
of Man.
UK? Yeah, the Isle of Man. That would make sense. They rip around there, and it is ridiculous how
Yeah.
fast.
The average speed, I think, is closing in at like 140, I think it was.
I think that was average speed. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
145, and that's
Which
miles per hour too.
miles per hour. And this is no Formula One track. There is no
Mm,
safer barrier. There
mm.
is trees to break your fall and stone walls as they
Literally
do in the UK.
cobblestone
Yeah.
walls.
Like it's absolutely mental what some of these guys are doing. You know, catching air, doing wheelies, all at insanely high speeds,
Doing it all,
and no hardly any safety protection,
and no one
anything like
died,
no one died. So
which is unusual,
that's actually
unfortunately.
huge. It's maybe motorsports is getting better.
Yep.
But yeah, so happy to hear about that.
Other than that, we don't got much. If there's any guests you'd like to hear on the podcast, we are putting together some guest lists. The guest episodes are doing well.
Yep.
So if there's any guests you guys are looking for, we're pretty good for the most part in IndyCar. So if you guys are looking for stuff, Formula One, don't be barking on my tree. We're trying our best. Formula One is out of our reach. Let's be Anne Frank. We're trying here though. Other than that, I don't got much more. McGregor, you get anything?
That's it, man. We
Are
out of here.
bye.
Thank you for listening. We love you.